program is made possible by ARCO, the U.S. Department of Education, the U.S. Department of Energy, and the National Science Foundation.
I come to teach. I've lived here and taught in this area all my life. I want to see them be somebody special. But they have to work hard and know that there is someone who really does care about them.
Polyhedron. What does pizza have to do with math?
What do I want from my students? I want the best that they can give. I give them the best that I can give, and I expect that in return. When I grew up, I always said I wanted to be a teacher. And so all of my life, I worked very hard towards achieving that goal. I think it's very important that they start thinking about what it is they're going to do later on in life. Math is a very important part of their future. So it's my job to get my students to believe that they can do math and to make math significant to their everyday existence. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
For those of you who don't know my name is Miss Tolliver. So good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Miss Tolliver.
And welcome to math.
Math is difficult, and when something's difficult, you want to learn it. Like say, for Christmas you buy a Super Nintendo game, and you play it, and you can't beat it. You're going to keep going at it and going at it till you win. So that's how I feel with math.
You know, math is my favorite subject.
Why?
Now, just because Miss Tolliver loves mathematics, it doesn't mean that you have to start out loving mathematics.
How come math is so important?
Well, that's something that I want you to think about. I don't think students really ever think about what mathematics really is. It's just a subject that they must take in school all the time. But why do they need to study it? What's the purpose of it? And what is it really? And I think in this type of lesson, students start really thinking about what is this subject called math? There's someone new to our class, and I want to introduce you to her.
She just likes explaining math in a different way. She likes doing it in her own unique way.
This is my friend, Samantha.
Hi, Samantha.
Well, when there's a character, as in the case of Samantha, I can use her as the vehicle. She comes from a place where she knows nothing about math. And in fact, this is the symbol that is on Sam's flag. What do you think this symbol means?
Math is not good.
Maybe.
Nobody likes math.
They cannot do math? No math allowed?
I think the sign means that they don't teach math.
Well, it actually means that where Samantha comes from, there's simply
No math.
They never hear of anyone who really has no knowledge of math. So I think it puts math in a whole new perspective for students. But Sam has a problem that you're going to help her out with today. How many of you know where the Union Settlement Garden is on 104th Street and 2nd Avenue? Okay, well, Sam has to go there after school. She's never been there. She's new to our neighborhood. So how would you tell Sam to get to 104th Street and 2nd Avenue to the garden? James?
First, if she's on Lexington, I'll say go to 3rd Avenue.
Stop. 3rd Avenue. What's that, Charles?
It's a number.
That's a number. And what does Sam come from? A land where there's
No math.
Kia, how would you tell Samantha to get to the garden?
Well, I would tell her to walk in front of her until she sees a building that
Excuse me, a building. What's the shape of the building?
a rectangle. It's a long rectangle.
Who?
Rectangle.
Rectangular. What does that have to deal with?
That have to do with math.
You're learning things about your students when you have them explain.
I know the way
Jeanette.
she needs to learn math.
Oh, okay. Jeanette says that Sam needs to learn math.
I have to teach her math.
We don't?
I can walk her there. Yeah, so
Well, in walking her there, what do you know that Sam doesn't know?
math.
You know math.
And then I can also see how much they really know.
Now, those terms that you were using, I heard someone talk about rectangular. Someone mentioned Third Avenue. What do those things all have to do with mathematics?
Numbers
Math deals with numbers.
and shapes.
Numbers and shapes, okay?
That I don't have to spend so much time going over many things that students already know
Math is a direction.
Okay, so math implies directions.
before I move on any further in the subject area.
Parlez-vous français?
Si.
Si. Oui, je parle français.
Oui. Oui, oui.
Si.
Comment está?
Bien. ¿Y tú?
Now you speak. What is this?
Language.
Oh. So what is mathematics? Aaliyah?
Math is a language.
Okay, and what do we do with language?
We talk it. We speak
We speak it. What else do we do with language? How does language really help us, Emily?
Helps us communicate.
Oh,
Students start realizing that mathematics is a language that is used for communication.
Mathematics is used for communication.
exactly. So once we teach Sam how to communicate and know the language of math, can she go anywhere?
And unless you know the language, you can't communicate in that language on any level. And so this is very key.
Now, our job today is to help Sam learn the language of math. On your table, there's a piece of paper, and there's one marker. You're going to write down as many mathematical words and symbols as you can. So start writing now.
I like having them work in teams.
Start writing. You're going to talk together.
It's a great comfort when you're in a class and you work with a partner.
Yeah, I like learning stuff from other kids because they're my peers, they're my age, they know how I think.
Okay.
My partner helped me.
That ain't algebra.
We did it together, and then I got the hang of it, so it made it easier for me.
Okay, what do you have here?
By the time they're in 5th, 6th grade, students bring to school a lot of knowledge.
We teach our polygons, numbers, and shapes.
And kids were starting to come up with,
Fractions. Line segments,
and somebody was whispering, and then I heard exponent from a 6th grader.
exponent, and polyhedron.
And the lists were growing and growing and growing.
Oh, we got a long list here.
And if you give them a chance to really show what they do know, it's helping me as a teacher know what I need to review and what I don't need to review.
We thought the easiest thing for Sam to start out with was addition, because when we were little, the first thing we started out was addition.
We thought that multiplication, addition, division, and subtraction would be good for her to learn first.
Quarts, pints, cups, and gallons.
Symmetry, angles, algebra, shapes like rectangle, triangle, square, and circle.
We put time because she has to know what time it is.
She needs to learn multiplication first before she learns exponents.
So then the next thing we put was fractions.
She has to learn money.
Before she learns money, doesn't she have to learn numbers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We have counting numbers here.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
If students hear the terms, if they read problems that use these words, they really have to know what the word means.
Why does Samantha need to know about fractions?
Let's say we cut in an orange, and she wants 3/4. So she needs to know fractions.
Good, okay. So why does she need to know shapes?
All the shapes are all around her. Like this table is a rectangle, the seat of the chair is a square kind of.
Okay, good.
And it's important for her to know what polyhedron is, because if she wants to be a construction worker, she needs to know how to form a building.
Okay. Well, if Sam hangs out with you guys, she's going to be real smart. And I even see symmetry up there. Why in the world does Sam need to know about symmetry?
Let's say she has a cake, and she has 4 friends. They want some. They want all equal pieces. So you have to do it in symmetry. You have to cut it in half to make sure it's even, and then cut more pieces. And it has to be even.
All right. Sam hanging around with you, Jeanette. She's going to know a lot of math. Okay.
Students have to understand the math vocabulary in order to deal with those problem-solving situations that arise.
Let's just go over some of the things that you actually taught Sam about math. Okay. First of all, in your list, you all mentioned things like points, lines, angles, shapes. What branch of mathematics does that deal with?
Geometry.
Okay, good. Then I heard quarts, pints, gallons. Jennifer, what branch of mathematics does that deal with?
Measurements.
Good for you. Then you also said that Sam needed to know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. What is that?
It's part of arithmetic.
Good for you.
And I want them to see what the real importance of this subject is.
Could someone then tell Sam, what is math?
Math is a language.
And so if you know the language,
then why do you really need to communicate in that language? What's the whole purpose?
why do you even need to bother to learn math? Emily?
In order to get a job.
Exactly.
Because there are so many jobs in the world that require or and somehow use mathematics.
I want to get a good job, real good job, and it has to contain a lot of math.
And this is why they need to start thinking about the significance of mathematics.
I want to show you something I brought from my house today. What is this in my hand?
A tape measure.
Okay, who would use this tape measurement in their job?
You can use it to put up curtains or Venetian blinds to measure how long the window is. That's what my mother did when she brought Venetian blinds.
Okay, so somebody in the Venetian blind business certainly would have this. Who else would use a tape measure like this in their job?
A tile person that measures the tiles.
Why would they need to use this tape
They
measure?
need to know the length that the tiles are so they can get the right size to put them on the floor.
Okay, good. Who else would use a tape measure like this? Cleve?
An architect.
How would an architect use this, Cleve?
It's to measure how long they need, like ceiling, like somebody wants to see a specific number, so they'll know how high they want the ceiling. It'll be perfect.
Okay, good. Okay, I go. Emily. Okay, Emily.
A clothing person. Because they have to know the length of the arms and the length of the person.
Okay. Now I'm gonna give. Oh! That's great. You got lots of ideas, and I want you to hold on to them because in a minute I'm going to give you each a bag.
She makes us learn something in a fun way.
And inside the bag, I got some goodies.
Miss Tolliver, she'll give us examples
There's some things in there for you.
to help us understand something.
Don't look until I tell you. You can go in there because I know you get a little excited sometimes.
The hands-on working is fun. It's just a challenge for me.
Okay, look inside the bag. Take the things out.
Well, the objects were there simply to get students to start thinking about people who would use these items in their job.
Now, I want you to name a person that would use the objects, and then I want you to explain how that person would use math.
This way it helps to get students to really talk about how various occupations do use math.
Well, you tell me, what are these?
Baseball shoes or running shoes?
So who's going to use it?
A baseball player.
Okay, what does math have to do with baseball?
okay.
You think about it, okay? Who's going to use this?
The two man.
Okay, what does the tool man do with this wrench?
To fix stuff.
What does math have to do with any of this?
Because
That's what I want you to think about.
I know.
Charles, who would use these goggles?
James Bond.
Oh, okay. So what's James Bond's job? Who's James Bond?
He's a spy. He goes undercover in the water and the submarines.
So why would a scuba diver?
How many fish? So the water won't get in here, so he could study the water.
So what's that have to do with math?
No,
You think about it, okay? Who's going to use this skate? A hockey player? Ice skate? And
They say they need to do a 360.
a 360 turn? Okay, that's math.
She treats us special, like we're her kids, and she makes sure that we learn the stuff that she teaches.
Okay, stop for a moment. So I'm going to start with your table. Emily, what do you have in your hand?
I got a compass, right?
Okay, who would use a compass in their job?
An explorer.
How would an explorer use a compass?
If you want to go north and he don't know the directions, he could use a compass.
Okay, in the back table, what is that, Ketsi?
A paintbrush.
And who would use it?
A painter would use this. We gotta measure how much paint he's gonna put on the wall and all the areas.
Okay, Jennifer?
I have a basketball here. Every basketball player needs a basketball to dunk or shoot.
So what does that have to do with math?
If you make a 3-point, that's 3 points.
Okay, you want to add something to it?
Distance where he's gonna shoot it from.
You can aim at the basket.
And I also have to have angle. Yeah. Who would use this in their job?
A baker.
How would a baker use those measuring cups?
They need to determine how much flour they're going to put in the bread.
I don't have to tell them much.
It's a triangle, square, circle.
My role as a teacher is to give them the chance to sort of make discoveries on their own.
Because math is everywhere.
Okay.
So math, as my students always say, is everywhere.
Everything has math in it.
Every job uses math.
And if you don't know math, you basically don't know life.
Because math is all around your life.
And this is why you need to know it.
In our math class, each day you will write an entry into what is called a math journal. What's a journal? Okay.
I think she wanted us to write a journal because she wanted to see how people were paying attention.
And if you understood everything she taught in class.
And with these books, each day you're going to tell me what we did during the lesson. You're going to explain some of the terminology. If you have any question
that you might have about what we did today, and there are times when I actually direct it to something specific.
So in today's journal, you're going to explain what is math. Why in the world do you need or anyone needs to know about math? And then some of the jobs that utilize mathematics. Okay, so turn to a clean page.
If I forget something that I've already been taught, I go back in my math journal and I look it over and then I kind of understand it again.
This will be done every day.
So the journals serve as a tool that I use to check on what I've been doing, what I may need to review with the students.
Okay, good. That's how you're going to start it. Dear journal. Okay, you can do it like that.
She always reads my journal entries. And if I forgot to include anything, she goes, "What happened, Ketsi? You didn't understand it?" And if I tell her, "Miss Taliban, no, I didn't understand it," she teaches it to me.
And any commentary that you want to make for the day can go in your journal.
So it's a sort of private way of communication between the teacher and the student. And I have to respond to all of them.
Okay, stop writing in your journals for a moment. Okay, now I have an assignment for you, and you'll have 1 week to do it. I want you to go around your neighborhood and talk to many different people. And I want you to find out what their job is, and then make sure you ask them how they use math in their job. You'll have exactly how long?
1 week.
How long?
1 week.
That's right, 1 week.
We're really helping to create thinkers, and that's what math class has to do.
Yes, Pedro, you have a question.
When I came to this morning, I thought it was like math was nasty, but now I think it's fun.
Oh, I'm so glad that math is fun. Thank you, Pedro. It's not so bad after all.
And
Okay.
therefore, that's why I do what I do.